Sometimes in life, you find yourself on the right side of the line.
This looks like what Roger Moore would look like if he had his feet up in imaginary stirrups while he was laying out on a beach towel.
Brett, that just tain't right. I'm surprised they used toilet paper.
That Dixie cup you're drinking from looks like a shot glass. Did your head get that much bigger? It looks like the Unabomber with a hat on.
Now a member of the Global Ag Network.
Take two. Okay, I'm not going to even try to make a fart joke here. We're just going to go into the episode here. We've got the Dryland Farmer podcast on the air right now. I don't think I've ever said that it's on the air, even though it's really not on the air. It's not radio or anything. But we've got Landon and we've got Ashton. Ashton, how's it going? Ladies first.
It's going really good. I finally got to get my hair done for the first time since February.
I thought you looked different.
I'm behind. Mm-hmm.
Do you go,
I cut my hair off.
Do you go to Park Avenue Barbershop like I do?
You know, I think we go to different barbers.
Oh, okay.
My hair's a little bit different than yours.
So, yeah, you've got some. Yeah. Yeah. So, we went, Landon, I don't know where you went. I went to a barbershop. It was on, I want to say it was either 34th or 50th. It was like, I think it was like off of maybe 34th and University. And I mean, it was one of these like, you would think you were in Hereford, like a small town barbershop. Did you ever go there? Do you know what I'm talking about? Did you ever see it, Landon?
No, I just went to my bathroom.
Oh, well, oh, sorry. Hey, you should be very appreciative. I'm assuming you still had hair then.
Well, no, not very much. I'd go to my bathroom to cut my hair.
Oh. What did you do? Just shake your head?
Yeah.
Anyway, so
real good haircut when those finance tests were coming up.
Oh yeah. So my brother, my middle brother, he went to Tech, and I think this might have been the same barbershop. He was getting his hair cut, and he started feeling this pinch on the back of his neck, and this old barber was popping a zit for him. Just like, I don't know if he tipped him or not, but anyway, this is like, well, thanks, I guess. Anyway, but this was one of those old school barbershops. The old man and had I don't know if he did the shave or not, but I think it just got the old school haircut, and then after that, I just went to the cutting corral.
That'd be kind of handy to have a guy take care of your whiteheads for you.
Yeah, that's pretty handy when they're hard to reach places. But I don't know if they do that at the beauty shop, Ashton. But I don't ever ask what happens at the beauty shop.
Well, I can confirm that my hair lady has never popped any pimples for me.
Okay. Well, you probably don't have any anyway, so wouldn't even assume that. But well, guys, didn't mean to talk. Well, we are talking about personal issues today, but they're of the bovine sort. I'm sure everybody's well aware that Burger King has come out with a new program for their cattle, and to help drop their contribution to greenhouse gases on the planet Earth. And so they're feeding their cows lemongrass. Now, I've never come across lemongrass. I've come across lemons and I've come across grass, but I've never come across the hybrid of it. Have y'all looked it up any? Ashton, did you do any research on this, on the lemongrass?
I didn't do any on lemongrass specifically, but I will say they make a claim saying that 33%
right.
of emissions are reduced with this new diet, but that research apparently is not founded in peer review or anything like that. And there was another research done that compared lemongrass or did lemongrass in a cow's diet, and it's inconclusive. So I don't know where they're getting their numbers.
So I thought the math alone was pretty interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up this. So I pulled up lemongrass. You can also get Dr. Berg's organic raw wheat grass juice. That's part of your everyday. That's part of your everyday regimen, isn't it, Ashton? Raw wheat grass juice.
I don't think I would like the feeling of cud in my mouth, so I think I would dig.
you you don't dig the taste of somebody else's bile in your mouth.
Yeah, that's how I feel like that would happen. That's how I feel my body would react. It was like I was a cow chewing some cud, and I don't think I'd get that.
I tell you what, it's but well, wait a minute though. This is the powder version though. Does that change your opinion?
No, that makes me feel even worse.
Okay. So I'm going to go over here. This is from Syracuse.com, and it's got. So have you seen the commercial of the abused child actors on it with the young boy that looks like Boss Hogg?
Yeah. Are you talking about the lead singer of the band?
He's got the white suit, the white tie, the white hat, the white guitar strap, and the only thing he's missing is 60 years and a fat gut.
They have Holsteins in that commercial, and I think it's pretty fitting. He looks like a dairy showman.
Yeah. To all you California listeners out there who don't hate us yet, but now they hate us now. Thank you, Ashton. That's Ashton Carr. If you need her, at Ashton_Carr on Twitter. For all hate mail and emails, go to her website or agnewsdaily.com, as she is the intern there. But these aren't even real Holsteins. These are wooden. And so the kids in the background, they've got... Wait a minute. I'm looking at the picture here. They've all got cowboy they've got the not the chocolate color, but the kind of the light tan. Well, no, the darker tan cowboy hats. But it looks like they've all got styrofoam cups on the top of the crowns, and I don't get it. So, okay, so you got Boss Hogg in the front. The kid on his right has got to be Roscoe P. Coltrane because he's got the red shirt, the red pearl snap shirt. He's got the two chest breast pockets. And the flaps on both breast pockets are black. He's got the belt buckle. And then the girl on the other side, has got it. This is the Dukes of Hazzard. I had no idea this was the theme. But thank God I have a spit guard because I'm just hose this whole microphone if I didn't. And the girl, I guess, is Miss Daisy, which is kind of creepy because she's preteen. And then I guess the rest of the Duke gang in the background. I don't see Uncle Jesse anywhere. But nonetheless... on Syracuse.com, and the title of the article is Burger King addresses climate change by changing cows' diets to reduce farts. Yes, Ashton. So tell me, do they recommend are you telecom? No, you're agcom. Agcom. In any of your article or journalism classes, did they ever recommend putting the word fart in the byline? Not the byline, but the article title?
So it's a headline.
Headline. Sorry, I don't. That's a big word. You got to talk slower, okay?
They never said anything about farts, but it just makes me a little bit uncomfortable, especially since cows really don't fart. It's their burps.
Yes. Kat, now Landon, you were finance. Now, did they say this in any of your marketing classes? Because I took marketing in ag college, and I don't ever remember talking about putting farts in the headline.
No, I was marketing and management.
That's what I said, marketing.
We didn't put farts in anything.
You didn't. You didn't put fart. Well, that would be pretty hard to put farts in something.
I mean, don't they put them in jars sometimes?
I guess light them on fire, maybe.
Brent, when I was in high school, we had a guy on our basketball team that used to fart into his hand and go put it in people's face.
How did he hold it?
I don't know, but it was pretty rough.
Did he get he must have a pretty hellacious pucker on his hand.
Yeah, I think he had a turtle. I think he was prairie dogging when he would do it. It was effective.
That and is he busting tires now down at Tire Works?
No, he went on to play football at Texas Tech. So.
Oh, one of those guys. Okay,
Yeah.
So continuing on through this article here. So reading here, it says the chain has rebalanced the diet of some of the cows by adding lemongrass in a bid to limit bovine contributions to limit climate change. By tweaking their diet, Burger King said Tuesday that it believes it can reduce a cow's daily methane emissions by 33%. Okay, now here we get into the math and just how useless this is. So, do you have your phone handy, Ashton? You can do math on this. So this is
got it.
So greenhouse gas emissions from the ag sector made up a total of 9.9% of total U.S. greenhouse gas emissions in 2018. Okay, so ag contributes 9.9% of total United States greenhouse gas emissions. 25% of that 9.9% is attributed to livestock. So what is 25% of 9.9%?
2.475.
25 you think that is that going to drop the temp of the global climate by a degree or two, or it's not even going to affect the southeastern part of Des Smith County where all the cattle are?
No, I don't think it's really even going to do much. And I think it's weird that you say 9.9 because stuff that I've read is like less than 2% of, maybe it's just 2% of methane. I don't know. There's so many numbers, but like I've heard that it's 2% that is caused from ag.
From the entire ag industry, not just livestock.
Yeah.
Have you ever
So
heard of a fart?
You know what? I don't think they're farts. So here is a little story here. I'll go back. Let's see. How long has this been? 20 years. And it wasn't a fart. It was just loose. It was just loose bowels. We were working cattle, and we were had our working facilities and everything. And I was up on the little catwalk, and I was right behind the chute pushing cows in there. And I don't know if these were wheat pasture calves or cows. Nonetheless, they had all been on green grass, and I'm pretty sure they were wheat pasture calves. Anyway, so my future sister-in-law, they were engaged at the time with my middle brother. She's from San Antonio. She's from the city. That's it. She's not a farm girl whatsoever. She's a clean freak to begin with. And so she's watching us from like 30 feet away, just kind of, taking it all in or whatever. And I'm up there on the catwalk and I'm pushing. And of course, you start yelling and all that stuff. Well, right in the middle of the word, "Go, you son of a bitch," this cow started peeling out and threw a full mouthful of manure right into my mouth. Yeah, I mean, it was a perfect shot. And so I thought that was something new. Anyway, so I turn, and my sister-in-law is looking at me with a look like she just saw who would be terrifyingly awful to see naked, like Nancy Pelosi after you got her out of the dryer or something. And she's just terrified. And so I make a beeline to the water tank to flush out and everything. So I got the manure out, and so I'm spitting out manure and sucking in moss. And she's just like beside her, so like she's having an out-of-body experience, and it's not even happening to her. She's just witnessing this thing. So, but that wasn't a fart. All this cow was doing was peeling out. I mean, if you've had if you pushed out 5 or 6 80-pound melons out of your end, you're probably going to lose some pucker, and that's what this cow did. Anyway, fast forward.
Did it have corn in it at least?
No, I said these were on grass. These weren't corn-fed. So these were all grass-fed. Well, the only reason because, they're on wheat pasture and you don't have corn there. But so fast forward to this,
Brand, if they would have been on lemongrass, you would have had a 1 in 3 chance of that not happening.
That's true. No, they still would have had the runs. But fast forward to this year, and my wife is washing our show calves in the wash rack, and she's walking by one of them, of course, on the tail end of it, and the calf burps or coughs. And the gas goes out the front and the solid comes out the back, and I mean, it just smokes her right on the side of her hip, man. It was awesome. I almost fell into the shit that just hit her because I was laughing so hard. And I can do that because it didn't go in her mouth like it did to me 20 years ago. So, yes, they do burp, but do we know why they burp? Does anybody in here know why they burp? That's how they chew their cud. They got to hawk it up to get that cud going. How else do you think they're going to get pressure behind that cud if they're not hawking something up? That's all they do all day is hawk stuff up.
Yeah, they got to fill up those 4 stomachs.
Well, yeah, well, I mean, they're only hawking up from the rumen, but yeah, I mean, it's the cow's Copenhagen at this point. I mean, not at this point. That's what it is. And they just sit there and they're just chewing their cud because they're cows. That's what they do. You're not going to eliminate them chewing their cud unless the lemongrass is so great. So here's a question, Ashton. When cattle are eaten, how do they decide which stuff they're going to save for later? It's like,
Is it like a joke, or are you trying to like?
Well, yeah, everything's this whole podcast is a joke of life. There's not a serious heartbeat in here. It's like, oh,
No.
I think I'll save that one for later. So that do they pick a spot, or I don't know.
That's a really good question.
And what's
I'm
the answer?
trying to like rack my brain. I can't even think of something fun. I'm genuinely trying to figure out what's happening in there.
I mean, what could possibly be the difference? I mean, how many different good pieces of hay versus bad pieces of hay could they have? Because I know if it's a bad piece of hay, they'll stick their nose up at it like a little kid at green beans. They ain't going to eat it. You couldn't starve a horse. We've had hay you couldn't starve a cow to. It was so sorry because they were desperate, and it was like the drought of all droughts, even though it seems like that's every year. So, yeah. But, I mean, so what they're saying is they're basically going to limit, and this is completely off. This is not Texas Tech veterinary science manual, obviously, because I don't know the physiology of cow cuds, and my wife was an animal science degree, had an animal science degree from Texas A&M, so that doesn't really count either, because, I mean, they'll give anybody degrees down there, even if she was like magna cum laude or whatever she was. But they're basically saying they're going to limit the amount of cud they're eating, because from what I can tell, that's how they're getting that cud back up from the throat to the mouth. And basically, you're changing the physiology of cattle. That ain't going to work.
It makes no sense.
Do you think they'd be doing this if the Impossible Whopper was selling better?
So yeah, probably. Has anybody had an Impossible Whopper here? I'm going to say no.
No.
I don't feel I haven't either. Not for just the simple fact I'm not going to patronize that, but I don't want like 20,000 grams of estrogen, because it doesn't have like a yearly supply of estrogen in it or something, the hormones in it or something awful.
Yeah, it has tons of estrogen in it. I'm not sure the exact number, but to get plants to taste like meat, you got to do some kind of wizardry to it. So I don't trust it.
I'm emotional enough as it is with this drought going on. I don't need another 20,000 teenage girls' blood types going through my veins at this point.
Yeah,
So
we don't need Brent with hot flashes.
I get hot flashes all day. So I put this on Twitter yesterday. So our water, we went to church. Yes, I go to church. Scary enough as it is, I teach Sunday school. But nonetheless, so we go to church on Sunday, go eat, come back home, and there's this lake in our front yard. And I'm like, I know it didn't rain. And I obviously don't know it didn't rain enough to do that. So, and then I start looking more, and there's a mound of sod in my front yard. And obviously what happened is I had a pipe burst in the sprinkler system. And so I had to go shut off the water to the well house off. So obviously we don't have any water in the well house or in the house. So, and it's only Sunday, what was it, 108? Was it 107, 108? So it's like, it's a really convenient day not to have water. And, of course, it's on Sunday. Ashton is just absolutely exhilarated with this story, because that was the biggest yawn I've seen yet today. But don't worry, I yawn on my own podcast. So anyway, yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
So
Tell your
anyway,
story.
Sundays are the best days to have breakdowns, because everybody wants to work on a Sunday. So I'm already out of good clean work pants, so I got to work in shorts, and that's a whole other story. I don't know how any people farm in shorts. I've seen freaking people weld in shorts. How those sparks are 1,000 degrees, and these people are welding in shorts, but not.
They're warm.
Oh yeah. So anyway, and so I put these shorts on. I go out there. I'm digging it up, and of course there's tree roots and everything. So what happened is I didn't know tree roots could get this big, but we dug down. Anyway, didn't get it fixed on Sunday. Nobody's available most of Monday. So we go. I have a buddy. He has an excavator. We dug it up. There was this freaking tree root. Like, God, I hope we're recording. Yes, we are. So there's this tree root, like a 4-inch tree root. I mean, it looks like a log, 4 or 5 inch. Anyway, I guess over the years it finally pushed up on this pipe, and it just pushed the fitting off the other pipe. Had to dig it up, and then Sunday it was 108. Monday it's 107 or 8 or 9. And I get my another set of pants on, and I didn't know, and of course I got my leather belt and everything. I didn't know you could sweat through your pants into your belt. My belt had a sweat line like your ball cap would have after a long day of wherever you're at.
Is it one of those braided belts?
That would be so awesome. Did you ever, Ashton? Did you ever have a belt with your name on the back?
No, I didn't.
That would be so cool if you did. I think I did when I was about 7 or 8. Of course, that was in the 80s, so you're too young for that. But that kind of went out of style. But the braided, I would have the braided belt and the bolo tie. That would be like the ultimate. And like late on my child support. So yeah. Anyway, so these are the hottest days of the year. Yesterday it was 100, almost 110, and today, God Almighty, it was like what 97, 98. It was like freaking frigid outside. I went outside this morning about 6:30 and ate breakfast on the back porch, and it was like 65 degrees, and it was freaking awesome. And it was not by choice that I woke up. When you're almost 40, I guess that's what you do. But anyway, what were we talking about? We're talking about cow farts or something like that. So back to the story here. It goes on. I go on to quote this thing, and it says, "Cow farts and burps are no laughing matter," the company said Tuesday. They released methane contributing to climate change. Cow farts and burps are no laughing matter. There is not anybody that's not laughing at this. This is under the age of 7. Or, in our case, 39. So, according to a recent poll by the AP's, about 2 out of 3 Americans say corporations have a responsibility to combat climate change. The gravitational pull of climate change. See what they did there? Gravitational pull, climate change. It's all Earth. They're so creative. Is increasingly that is just so on point. Is increasingly finding its way onto the national political stage. 2 years ago, McDonald's said it was taking steps to cut greenhouse gases it emits. It tweaked the manner in which the beef in its Big Macs are disgusting anyway, and Quarter Pounders were produced. The company said at the time that it expected the changes to prevent 150 million metric tons of greenhouse gas emissions from being released into the atmosphere by 2030. Burger King worked with scientists at the Autonomous University, so apparently it's just a university with a bunch of robots, and at the State of Mexico and at the University of California, Davis, to develop its formula of adding 100 grams of lemongrass leaves to the cows' daily diets. Preliminary tests indicate that the cows discovered that lemongrass tastes like shit, and we refuse to walk around all day smelling like a can of Lemon Pledge. On Tuesday, Burger King introduced its reduced methane emissions beef Whopper, or the Remember-Fu, made with beef sourced from cows that emit reduced methane in select restaurants, while supplies last. I'm going to guess that these supplies are going to last a good long time. So, yeah. So, also, Burger King, aren't they being a little hypocritical? Because don't they flame broil their burgers? What comes out of the top of every Burger King restaurant? Anybody?
Smoke?
A big plume of smoke comes out of the top of every Burger King restaurant, and they're blaming it on the cows? I don't think so.
They're probably emitting more than the cows are.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole point there. So over here on the CNN article, let's see. Yeah, they're saying the same thing. Trump is an idiot. They hate Trump. If you're a Republican, you're evil. Oh, wait. That's their main story here. Let's see. Burger King said the new formula is open source and fairly simple to implement. And the company worked on it with professors from a bunch of idiot places. So we all know what happened when Coca-Cola tried to make a new formula for Coca-Cola. That went over like a lead balloon. Landon, did you ever have the new Coke?
I don't think so. Was it any good?
I don't know. I think it was pretty terrible because it only lasted like a year, and then they went back to the classic formula. But the original formula actually had cocaine in it, didn't it?
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I think.
I just always drank the old Dr. Pepper.
Yeah. Dr. Peppers are pretty good. Your drink of choice, Ashton, without alcohol?
I like Coke.
Yeah. I tell you what's awesome, but it's like unhealthy as hell. Vanilla cherry Coke. It is.
I could deal without the cherry.
It's bitchin'. No, the vanilla makes up for it.
Not a fan.
The faces don't translate into the podcast, Ashton. This is...
Yeah, I realized that after there was like a little bit of awkward silence.
No, I like the look, but I've just got to tell you, it's all audible. It's all audio here.
No,
So,
I just need to remember that next time.
this isn't Ag News Daily or Zag News Daily. Do they have a video full subscription service?
No, we just record audio, but I'm working on some special projects.
Look
so.
out. So, Ashton, tell us a little bit. What's been going on in Ag News Daily lately? Any great guests that have called you back?
I mean, we talked to a pretty cool professor today about what we're talking about cow farts.
And what was his opinion?
I mean, he was pretty professional, but it was kind of like BS.
Oh, he was saying BS?
Yeah, I mean, he's done some research himself, so he talked about his research and trying to be more sustainable, and he did a really cool video, and I'll send it to you later, about how we have to rethink methane, and it's really interesting, and I kind of want to point out that, you know, they're doing this lemongrass thing in the feed yard, but most of the greenhouse gases that cows are emitting are in the pasture because of the food that they're eating in the pasture.
Right.
So it makes no sense to me.
I wonder how they cross lemon and grass. Is it Landon? You've got some Johnson grass. You were hoping that they could get into the methane diets, didn't you?
Well, I just think it'd be handy if that was the answer.
Johnson grass, dicamba resistant pigweeds, and bindweed would be a great deal. Sounds like a little D's getting tuned up there.
Yeah.
Is it what is it, the witching hour for how old is she now, 2 or 3?
I think she had a little Dr. Pepper as well.
That is, give her some lemongrass. That always works. So I think the bottom line of this whole thing is BS on the bullshit, because don't think, what did we figure? Wait a minute, is that right? 2.2%? No, 25% of 9%. Yeah, okay.
It's about 2.3.
Yeah, like Ashton said. Yeah. So that's just a huge footprint that it's going to release, doing 2.3% of the entire countrywide methane emissions. Ashton, whenever I talk like that, like one word every 3 seconds, is because I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just waiting for it to come to me. Sometimes I just start saying something and I don't know where it's going, and I just hope I get there when I get to the end.
I picked up on that a little bit.
Thank you, Michael Scott. But Ashton, why don't you tell us all about where you can find Ag News Daily and your Twitter handle and any other promotional ads that you might have.
Yeah, so you can listen to Brent talk a little bit more on the Global Ag Network at globalagnetwork.com. And then you can also hit up Ag News Daily, which is the podcast that I'm a part of every single weekday, at agnewsdaily.com. And then you can also find us on all social media at Ag News Daily. And then my personal account is Ashton with a Y _car on Twitter.
With 2 R's.
2 R's, yes.
2 R's. You got to put that in there. Ashton, tell us about the other podcast on the network, or tell us which ones they are.
So you got Girls Talk Ag, Moving Iron, Ag State of Mind, Hot Rod Farmer,
Working Cows.
Working Cows, yeah.
So now, Ashton, tell me, on the Girls Talk Ag, is Angie still there, or they got a different host now?
It is Jennifer, Kelsey, and Karen.
Okay, so she's on to bigger things, huh?
Yeah, I guess she just moved on.
I guess she just moved on to a bigger place. Well, we all can't stay in the same little county like some of us do. Well, that's cool. Yeah, those are all great podcasts. Landon, where can people find you at other than where they don't really want to find you?
No Twit Landon 44.
No Twit Landon 44. And you can find the Dryland Farmer podcast. Don't worry, I'll edit all these breaths out I'm taking, but I have to breathe. So you can find it at Trader Brent. And, of course, as Ashton said, we're on the Global Ag Network, and everywhere that's inappropriate things are found. That's how we roll. So, guys, I'm kind of excited for next week. We're working on something. It's a musical theme, and some of your favorite artists. What would they sound like if they sang other songs, other famous artists? And it's gonna be this is gonna be a CMT Crossroads episode, I think, is what it's gonna be. So just think Johnny Cash and Taylor Swift, how those two would work out together if they just switch songs, and of course if Johnny Cash was still alive, but. that makes it even harder. But guys, we're gonna have a great one next week, and I know we're going to go to the stock show down in Abilene sometime next week, and hopefully it won't be 2,000 degrees like it's been here. And actually, I just saw on my phone we're in a severe thunderstorm warning, so that means it's going to blow a lot and not rain any. So that's pretty awesome. But Ashton, was it hot down at your parents'?
No, actually, it wasn't too bad. Just pretty humid.
Pretty humid. I think it's above 10% here. We're freaking. It's swamp butt central here, so great and wonderful. And you sweat through your belt. That's what you always want to say in front of a lady, swamp butt. But nonetheless, so that's great. We're irrigating and watering, and we're running out of water just like we do every year. But it's hot going, and we need rain just like everywhere else except the Midwest because they get free rain all the time. But guys, that's going to wrap it for here. For this time, we're going to get out of here. And thanks, Ashton. Thanks, Landon. And until next time, everybody, y'all stay safe. Y'all stay cool. Do you wear a mask anywhere, Ashton?
I do, yes.
Where do you have to wear one? Well, I know they make you at Walmart here.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much wear them everywhere. I go to the chiropractor like every other week, and I don't wear one there, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Wear one everywhere else.
I went, let's see, the doctor, and they hate them. They hate the masks, even though they have to wear them, but they don't make us wear them. So yeah, it's I think Walmart's pretty. You go to Hereford, Texas, it's pretty lenient on the mask enforcement. So, but Walmart is you're not getting in there and getting a green set of bananas without a good mask on. So it's first world problems. But guys, we're gonna get out here. Until next time, y'all be good, y'all be safe, and we'll ask you, what side of the line are you on? The Dryline Farmer Podcast, tackling all of today's important issues. A member of the Global Ag Network. All rights reserved. 2020.